I share what I'm listening to and my thoughts on music and the business daily for free at helloyassine.com. What's poppin', y'all? In the midst of going at Lucian Grange, the CEO of UMG's daughter-in-law, Drake, on his Finsta plot twist, decided to poke some fun at Joe Budden by posting the following video clip of him. I'm just going to play it in the background while I'm speaking because the music doesn't really matter and the music is copyrighted anyway. Well, to this, Joe Budden responds, man, and he really cooks Drake. I'm going to play you guys that response, and we're going to get into some context and why I think Joe Budden is right here, but not all the way.
But yes, for me, game over at the top says it's the bow. It's over.
Yeah.
It is over. And I'm glad to, because I'm done.
I'm tired of it.
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm sick of it.
I mean, I don't think it'll ever be done just because of the significance of the battle in hip-hop history. But I think we can done...
This was the cumulative moment that everybody was waiting for.
I think we can be done, like, with the hyper-analyzing of shit.
That's what I'm saying. You know that rap
in regards to
Hey, Drake, don't shoot at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing it back and forth with a corpse.
Come on, man.
I wanted to do it when you was lit. It was fun. Don't go get shot all through the year and then pop up like Bernie at Weekend at Bernie's wanting to shoot at me now. No, nigga. Go spin. Spin the fucking block. This fucking nigga. Are you crazy? I'll save it. But I just seen that shit. Is he crazy?
You know it's pod day.
And 99 niggas done jumped on your ass. You out smoking hookah in turquoise boots. Don't post me. Nigga, go get your fucking lick back. Fucking bitch.
That's how you really feel.
You feel like I feel. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I hate to do that to y'all. Put y'all in a position.
Who y'all?
What?
Nobody
I ain't
in
no
position.
I know y'all like him.
You still know y'all?
I still like him.
I don't.
Yeah, you
I
still
don't
know
care.
y'all?
I'm buying that album Friday.
Yeah, I'm not buying the album, but not buying the album.
You're not buying the album?
I'm not a party fan. Y'all know that. I don't party
Got
music.
it. That's true.
So as you guys just heard, Joe Budden just cooks Drake, says, I don't want to go back and forth with a corpse. And I understand where Joe Budden is coming from, because if you guys still don't remember, the last interaction that they had was when Drake left a comment when Joe Budden was going in on For All the Dogs. So on the For All the Dogs album in October of 2023, so this is before the beef, he trashed the album in very public clip. But one of the things that he says, which is one of the themes of why Drake is even suing UMG, is he says that Drake was rapping for children, quote, direct quote, yo dog, I had to look up how old this dude was when I finished listening to the album. You are 36, your birthday is in 20 days. I googled that too. You're going to be 37 years old. Get the F away from some of these younger dudes. I want to hear adult Drake rapping for adult people. He's rapping for the kids, the streams, the accolades. He ain't trying to rap for me. I can accept that. He also throws another comment about young girls. I think he's like chicks under 25 or something like that. Clearly, that went under Drake's skin because Drake would reply and tag Joe Budden saying, you have failed at music. You left it behind to do what you're doing in this clip because this is what actually pays your bills. For any artist watching this, just remember you are watching a failure. Give their opinion on his idea of a recipe for success. I think he's just giving his honest opinion. A quitter, give their opinion on how to achieve longevity. You switch careers because the things that pop into your brain had you broke, living check to check, and the raps you write had 450 men showing up to your shows in dusted Aniche NYC jeans to screw up their face to Mood Music 29, which Drake was a fan of, and pretend you are the GOAT. Please, to any artist that's doing what they feel is right, don't let these opinions affect your mindset after the fact. This guy's the poster child of frustration and surrendering. You were retired and we never hung up your jersey. We don't even remember your number. We know you for doing this. You withdrew from rap not because you accomplished all you need to, it's because it wasn't working for you. I never want anybody in the generations to think that the whole everybody's entitled to their opinion is a real thing. This is a man projecting his own self-hate and the fact I did and continue to do everything he wanted to do for himself. If you need to put in simpler terms, I own a 767 in reference to a jet. Broke talk. I had to look that up too. Don't worry. He owns a modest house in the 973 and flies first class on special occasions. A lot of people came at this and thought it was lame. And some people people thought he cooked Drake. Because keep in mind, this is 2023, end of 2023. People love themselves some Drake. The narrative hadn't switched up yet. But now the narrative has switched up. And it's odd because in April of 2020, Drake appeared on Joe Budden's IG Live to talk about music. Yes, that is correct. Drake appeared on Joe Budden's IG Live, not Academics. He didn't show Academics love. But this goes way back because they used to clown each other back and forth. But they actually had some beef because in 2014, I think it was, I don't remember the exact year. No, I do remember the exact year. It was 2016 because it was when Views came out. And he said that he thought Views was uninspired. And then Joe Budden felt like Drake dissed him in the song 4 p.m. in Calabasas in June of that year. So what Joe Budden does is he gets on the mic because Joe Budden's a spitter. He's spit bars. And he makes the song Making a Murderer Part 1. So he disses not only Drake, but Jay-Z and Meek Mill at the same time. And at this time, Meek was getting cooked. He was getting deep fried. So in July of 2016, Drake makes fun of the song Pump It Up during a concert, does not reply to the beef. And people were saying that, oh, Drake doesn't need to reply to him. Joe Budden's a nobody. So Drake keeps playing Instagram games. And then Joe Budden drops more tracks. So he dropped Making a Murderer Part 1, which was when he dissed Jay-Z, Meek, and Drake. And then he made the song Wake 5 days after Making a Murderer Part 1, when Drake didn't respond. And he kept upping the ante. And a lot of this material, if you go back and listen to these songs by Joe Budden, it's what built the case. You could use it as the blueprint for what everyone that came at Drake after that built upon. So what Pusha T built on, and even ultimately Kendrick Lamar, they studied what Joe Budden was dropping here. They paid attention to it. You are a fool if you think that Kendrick Lamar didn't listen to the tracks that Joe Budden dropped against Drake when it happened. I'm not saying while his beef was going on. No, when it was happening back then, he was for sure listening to it. And then he drops the song Just Because. This is Joe Budden again. And he keeps urging Drake to come back for him. And then he drops the song Afraid. So he drops all of these songs. And what does Drake drop? Nothing but Instagram captions. But Drake was feeling himself. People loved Drake, man. And Joe Budden just looked like a hater. At this time, Joe Budden didn't even have the premier podcast. It was the premier podcast, but podcasting wasn't what it was now. He was still in like the pioneer stage where you're not really getting your credit. And Drake would respond with bars here and there, like on No Shopping, but he would keep going in. And this is the funny thing, because Drake pretends that Joe Budden failed, which Joe Budden did fail at the industry of hip-hop. He didn't fail as a rapper, because the way that Drake was making fun of people dressing and showing up to mood music shows for Joe Budden is exactly how Drake used to dress in the 2000s. And he was a fan of Joe Budden, and he respects Joe Budden's opinion, and he tunes into Joe Budden's opinion. That's why it harmed him. And I think it was the reputational aspect, because he didn't want the whole him being old and him making young music narrative to fester, which now it's at an all-time high. So for you to not rap with Joe Budden, and then now you're trying to like throw shots at him, which Joe Budden saying that he doesn't even want to rap with you, because this was after Joe Budden quit too. So Joe Budden announced that he would retire after he dropped all these tracks on Drake's Head Top, and said that it wasn't a personal beef that he had with Drake. It was just for sport. He felt like he was getting shots thrown at him, so he had to fire back, and he fired back viciously, and almost nobody gives Joe Budden his credit for those tracks, which he for sure deserves. Of course, Joe Budden fans give him credit, but you guys are Joe Budden fans. That doesn't count. We're talking about getting credit from non-Joe Budden fans, or people that aren't tuned into everything that he's doing. So do I agree that Drake is a corpse? No. Will Joe Budden probably, if the music is good on the Party Next Door and Drake album, you'll hear Joe Budden the next week talking about how much he loves it, and this is the bag that Drake needs to stay in, and he's not trying to hear Drake diss anybody if the album is all R&B. But Drake, the way he was teasing things in his Australia tour stops, it made it seem like the next album we were going to get a lot of content and his reflection and feelings about all of the things that had happened. But he also made it seem like we were going to get something on this current album that's going to be for Party Next Door that would satiate people's thirst or hunger for some sort of a comment on what's going on with these lawsuits and post-beef, and even realistically, what the hell is going on with your place getting shot at? But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you enjoyed. Go to helloyassine.com. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for watching. Peace.